Hello everyone, it's me Priyanshi Samant, and first of all, I would like to introduce myself. So, I am a defense aspirant. I have been preparing for uh, competitive exams like CDS and AFCAT to get into armed forces. So, first of all, I would like to let you know that I have one upcoming SSB, and for that I have to prepare. So I am going to prepare it by my own. So for that I have decided that I'm going to record a video every day in order to improve my communication skills and also to improve my knowledge. So for that I have decided that I'm going to read a book every single day in order to enhance my knowledge regarding the same. So my first point is being about why I am recording this video, and for this video, the context of this video, that I have taken one book for today. The book is Why Bharat Matters, and that has been written by S. Shankar. S. Shankar is External Affairs Minister of India, and so he has written this book, and this has been quite renowned. And I think most of you might be knowing about this. So also, excuse me for the camera quality, because that is definitely of no importance for me, because definitely I'm doing all this for my confidence, for my knowledge and communication skills. These are three factors I would like to develop in myself. I'm doing for that only. So because, and also I'm not a content creator too. Definitely my home isn't going to be run by content creation. So in such a series I would like to start. So I have taken this book. I would like to tell that there are 11 chapters. I have decided that every day I'm going to do at least two of the essays, two of the chapters, so that I'll be finishing this book within a week. And I'm going to upload a very single video every day in order to finish this book as soon as possible. And also, I'm going to speak out loud the summary of the same. Sorry. So for today, I haven't read any of the chapter, but I have read the preface of the book. So, first of all, I would like to let you know what the book is all being about. The book is about India only. The book is centered, the center of the book is India, that how India is there in current geopolitical conditions. So, I have highlighted few of the points in the preface itself, so I'm going to introduce you to the terms. So, first of all, I have highlighted Vishwamitra. So, in this External Affairs Minister Ajay Shankar, he has mentioned that about his journey as a diplomat, and how in the year 2014, after the election of PM Modi, the emergence of India as a Vishwa Mitra has been seen. Like initially, there was a image of India as Vishwa Guru and showing the influence as an authoritative position. But now, if we see India's position in the global arena, it is more of a friend to all, a nation that is friend to all other nations. That is the first point I would like to mention. Second is about, he has mentioned of the event, the Madison Square Garden event in 2014. So, if I would like to tell you about this, it was there in US and it was majorly for the diaspora. So here, as Jaishankar has mentioned about how the diaspora of a nation is actually the sole factor, not the sole, but actually the major factor that is going to influence the global image of any of the nation. So, secondly, third point which I would like to mention is about India's policies regarding climate change. So, in the contemporary time, what we are seeing that the climate change has been a major threat to our planet. So, for that, he has mentioned of COP21, which was there in Paris. So, in this occasion, PM Modi came up with the advocacy of solar energy. So, I think this can be seen as an innovation by India, that how India has advocated for solar energy as one of the first in that. So about COP21, COP is Conference of Parties, and the related organization is UNCCC, that is United Nations Climate Change Conference. And apart from it, there has been mention of terrorism. So, what is the India's view about terrorism? It is being about that India is never going to allow cross-border terrorism, and that is never going to be normalized under any of the conditions. So, he has mentioned of some of the events that India has seen so far, like Uri in 2016, and secondly, he has made an event for the similar thing, which is CTC, Counter Terrorism Committee. So, when India was a member of UNSC, United Nations Security Council, in the year 2022, so in October 2022, India organized CTC, that is Counter-Terrorism Committee in Mumbai, and this the location, the venue which was chosen for this was also the location that was influenced, affected by the 26/11 attacks. So India has many initiatives. India has been a very strong advocate for the fact that it is never going to support terrorism. So India has come up with initiative like no money for terror. So next to the point which I have taken is about economic priorities. So he's mentioned about economic priority. So he has said that if the economy is being prioritized within the boundary, that is in the home, then only it is going to influence the policies, India's economic policies abroad. So he has mentioned that how PM has looked forward to many arenas in order to leverage the Indian economy. For example, by engaging entrepreneurs, visiting technological centers, and seeking to promote innovation and skills. And also, he has mentioned that how India, amidst getting a lot of challenges, India has joined RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, in the year 2019. And next to it, we can see that how India contributed a lot during COVID-19 by supplying vaccine throughout the world. And the next policy which he has mentioned is about neighborhood first policy. So, neighborhood first policy is being about prioritizing our neighbors. So, initially, what we have seen that India follows a policy of reciprocity. That whatever the other nation is doing to us, we are going to do the same. But for neighbors, we follow neighborhood first policy. That is more being about non-reciprocal. Even we are not getting very good responses. We are not going to reciprocate it, and that is, we can see it as a very generous policy which we have towards our neighborhood. And apart from it, India joining Sagar, that is the security and growth for all in the region. So that has also been mentioned as India's action in order to become a part of global world. And about he has also mentioned that how India has been contributing in the Middle East. So in the how India has a clear stand in Palestinian state, that India has a clear cut opinion that it is going to condemn terrorism at any cost. And further, opening new embassies in Africa has also been a way in order to increase our relations with Gulf nations. Secondly, he has mentioned that how in during the COVID lockdown, when there was a need to mobilize and deploy forces in China, how there was rapid actions were being taken by India by airlifting the militaries. That tells about the agility and the robust development which India has seen so far. Further, the establishment of Quad has also been mentioned, and oil purchases from Russia, and because it tells that whatever the conditions are happening in the global world, India is a nation that is going to put its interests first. So India follows the policy of um, having the national interest to be kept at the first. So in such a way, India is also purchasing oil from Russia, that has been mentioned. And further, mention of IMEC has also been mentioned, that is India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor. So further, in order to be more influential country in the global world, he has mentioned that India need to become a trusted partner and a more credible partner. That can be done by diplomacy. And he has mentioned that every visit, every talk which PM does with other nation, that is a part of a mosaic, that is a part of a whole story that is going to be presented in the later world. So he tells about that how much it is important in order to anticipate the challenges, in order to anticipate the forthcomings that are going to come, in order to perform in this time, in the contemporary time. So further he has mentioned that, like, what we need to do internally is like, internally means within the boundaries or at home within India. So we need to build capabilities, undertaking reform and enhancing the quality of governance, which we can do. And so if we are going to do all these things, that is definitely going to improve our condition in the international level. And further, we are going to influence the global agenda. The only ability, if we are going to get the ability, so the ability come with the national power. That first we need to actually develop the nation that is within the boundaries in order to have to become an influential global power. So later on, he has written a very beautiful sentence, that is, it sees no contradiction in espousing internationalism abroad and articulating nationalism at home. Like, even if we are very active member in international conflict, that in international issues, that really doesn't mean that the authenticity of the India is at this stage. So further in the conclusion, he has mentioned that the India today is more of a Bharat, and that has developed so far, and he has contrasted it with the prior picture of India that can be seen before of 2014, which I really don't support, but because I don't want to have biases with the government. But I think the development so far I have covered, and that has there been in the preface. There was a lot of data in it as well, and I'm very enthusiastic in order to read this book, and probably I'm going to get much more of the insight with this book. So with this, I would like to conclude the video, and I feel that having such a platform in which I can upload, it is going to increase my accountability with my own preparation of the SSB. That is the sole reason I am looking forward to YouTube in order to prepare for SSB. I really don't know where it is going to take me and my preparation per se, but definitely it is going to impact me in some way or the other. Thank you for watching my video. Signing off, Priyanshi Samant.